So we just got done with the Super Bowl, and depending on which team you were rooting for, it was rather a great game or it was a really bad game. In the game of football, there's a lot of interesting things that take place. One of those is sometimes when there is a play on the field, the referee on the field can call it a certain way, whether he thinks it's a fumble, an incomplete catch, or a touchdown. But a coach has the ability to challenge that play. They throw a red flag onto the field because the coach saw it from a different angle. He saw something that thinks maybe that's not really the call and maybe that call needs to be overturned. In some cases it's not actually the coach on the field, but there are coaches in a booth. So they'll call down to the field and say, "Hey, we see something that's different. We got to challenge that play because we don't think it was a catch, or we do think it was a touchdown or not a touchdown." That same principle is played out in the Bible. No greater example of that than when Jesus was resurrected. The disciples saw it from their perspective, just like we often see our life from our personal perspective. But God sees our life from his perspective. He sees it from a different angle. So sometimes the way that we call our life is not the way that God called it. When Jesus died, the disciples thought, game over. The church is finished. This thing that Jesus started will never come to fruition. But God saw it from a different angle. He challenged the play. The call was overturned, and Jesus rose from the grave 3 days later. Our situations in our life can be overturned as well. We may think it's the end of a season, the end of a situation, the end of hope in our life about a certain situation that we're going through, but God can overturn that call. He can turn something that we see as a curse into an absolute blessing in our life if we let him and if we listen to him. It's so important for us to hear the call that God is whispering in our ear. Just like that coach on the sidelines has a headset on and he can hear the coach upstairs, let's make sure we're listening to the coach upstairs when he wants to overturn a call in our life. That's today's Ministry Minute.